So good afternoon to all. First of all, I'd like to thank Stadata, the organizers, for having invited me. It's truly a pleasure to be asked to deliver a speech on this international webinar. So I'm here today to talk about the seismic assessment of the National Palace of Sintra, a study developed from 2018 to 2020, where Tremuri program was the primary software used. So let's starting by talking a little bit about the palace itself with this slide. So the palace dates from the 11th century and it was labeled as a national monument in 1910, and it's part of Sintra's cultural heritage inserted by UNESCO in the World Heritage in 1995. As you can see from the slide, it's a very complex heritage building. It is composed of different reinforced masonry buildings, various intermediate levels, rooms separated by some steps, and the whole space has a layout that somehow it reflects the topography of the place, because it was built against the rock all over the different buildings. The number of floors varies from 1 to 6. You have taller buildings and very small ones, and all the buildings have varying perimeter walls of rubble stone masonry, and the type of masonry varies from building to building, and even the same building, it varies from story to story. The rubble stone masonry presents different types of stones and dimensions, up to 30 to 40 centimeters long, and a various type of airline mortar. The thickness of the perimeter walls of the ground floor, just for you to have an idea, varies from 0.35 meter to 2.2 meters, so significant difference of thickness of the walls. In order to perform a complete seismic assessment of the palace, a multidisciplinary approach was followed with a multidisciplinary team. A historical approach was performed and a visual structural in situ survey. In fact, a significant in situ surveys have been done. This just before to proceed with the experimental campaign. And for the experimental campaign, we have started with a geometric survey with a laser scanner and a Falcon 8 Plus drone. We have performed ground penetration radar surveys, sample collection for the masonry, flat check tests, and ambient vibration tests. From the cloud points obtained with laser scanner and the drone, a 3D BIM model was developed in Revit, which includes, beyond the geometry, obviously, attribute data of various types assigned to each of the elements of the BIM model. So we have included in the final model historical documentation, description of materials, construction stages, information from experimental in situ tests, and even the main outcomes from the seismic assessment analysis that you have performed in all the palace. In this slide, you have only one wing of the palace, the Manueline building, and a cut and the 3D model represent on the right side of the slide. So from the laser scanner of the outer and inner parts surfaces of the palace, it has been possible to obtain an incredible 3D definition of the geometry of the structure. And to illustrate this, just some results of these outcomes. So what we have is the complete geometry of the two massive conic chimneys that we have in the palace, the possibility to be sure about the thickness of some walls which connect different parts of the palace, just to illustrate the chapel and the kitchen, where the width vary completely along the length of the wall, or to detect some curves walls that it was impossible to get it from another surveys without using laser scanning. Or even, as you can see from this image, the possibility to get very careful and very precisely the geometry of the roofing structures, which consist mainly of timber trusses of different types. So all over the palace, with the exception of the kitchen, all the buildings have timber trusses for roof. And I'm completely sure that obtaining the correct geometry is crucial for the calibration of numerical models and for the adequate seismic assessment and seismic performance of this type of structures. Thus, for this type of complex masonry buildings, I think this is the correct way to get the geometric properties of the structures. As far as the GPR survey is concerned, we have performed these tests not only in the sum of the walls where you have removed some samples, but also in all the pavements with vaults, just to be sure if they are in fill or not. And in some walls that were built against the rock, just to be sure how was the connection between the wall and the soil and the rock. We have used different frequency antennas, and with these we're able to get some important information and to get to be allowed to discover some construction techniques, some types of materials, anomalies like the presence of voids, cracks, or even water. For the characterization of masonry, we start with some stamps collection. So it's a qualitative characterization, of course. The location was chosen on the main structural walls that characterize the principal periods of construction of the palace, of course, being aware of the countless limitations that we have in a palace, because of the existence of tiles, of painting, so it's rather tricky to choose the place to get these samples of masonry. The flat checks were carried out preferably in the same walls where you have removed the samples of masonry, if not possible in the same wall, in very close walls of the walls that you have removed the samples of masonry. And the objective was to characterize the mechanical properties of masonry. It is worth mentioning that the inspection windows that we obtain before to carry out the flat check tests allow us to proceed to the masonry qualitative evaluation. So it was really very important for the qualitative evaluation of the masonry. The flat checks were done with 25 centimeter depth, the size of the flat check. We have here an image of the flat checks used. So the results obtained with these tests were considered with caution, because you have very thick walls and you are testing just the external part of the walls. We have performed single and double flat check tests, and with these we estimate the actual state of stress in the masonry and of course its strength and stiffness. A campaign of ambient vibration tests were performed in the sum of the palace bodies, chosen for their structural importance, existence of damage, and history. These tests allow to identify the dynamic characteristics or dynamic properties, frequencies and mode of vibrations, which in turn were crucial for the numerical calibration of the models. The locations of the experimental in situ tests were represented in the BIM model. So you have here the plan view of the Manuelin building, and the main results obtained linked to the model or added to it as attributes. So we have here some images of the Manuel building and the test that you have performed in this building. This film shows how the information related to the masonry samples, flat check test, and the ambient vibration test have been inserted linked to the BIM model. We have the identification of the areas where the masonry samples were removed, where the tests of flat checks were carried out, including some photos and the main results reached. So for instance, for the ambient vibration tests, location of the sensors and the modes of vibration have been considered and included in the BIM model. In the BIM model, it was identify all the floors and walls where the GPR tests have been performed, and it was really important and main results as well. As you can see here, linked to the BIM model, the report with the main results of these GPR tests. The mechanical characterization of the materials defined after the realization of the experimental campaign and after the calibration of all the numerical models were also linked to the BIM model. And here you can see for the same building, Manuel building, all the types of masonry and materials that you have considered in the model, as well as the properties that you need to perform the nonlinear analysis of the global model with the Tremuri program. So let's move now to the definition of the seismic assessment itself and numerical modeling of the palace. The definition of an effective nonlinear model for the seismic analysis of masonry structural elements represents crucial steps, as you know, towards a proper seismic assessment of existing masonry building structures. For the seismic assessment of the palace, we have considered the in-plane and out-of-plane responses of the masonry, and you have performed nonlinear analysis. Considering the size and complexity of the palace under study, where this figure is really illustrating the complexity of the palace, I do believe that the macro modeling approach is the tool applicable to large scale computations. Thus, in this study, the seismic behavior was assessed by performing nonlinear analysis through the Tremuri program. This international palace, as I have already mentioned, is characterized by aggregation of bodies, quite clear in this image, intensely affected by their dynamic interaction due to the shared boundary conditions. You have all the buildings sharing by each other with some boundary walls. The structural model, of course, needs to consider the effects of those interactions. At the beginning of our study, a unique global model of the whole palace in the Tremuri program started to be developed, but due to the structural complexity, dimension of the palace, developing a unique model proved at that time to be computational demanding, and we got significant convergence problems, and it was almost impossible to calibrate our model based on the experimental results with a unique model. So we decided to give up. In the right side of the slide, you can see the model when it was decided to stop the development of a unique model of the palace. Therefore, separate models were developed, calibrated, considering all the time the effect of the adjacent buildings and take into account the field survey and results of the experimental campaign, mainly the ambient vibration tests. They were crucial for the calibration of the different numerical models. So we have the identification of all the bodies that you consider in this study with the designation of the names that we gave for all the bodies. I have to say that among all these units, the unit 1, the Manuelino building, and the 10, which correspond to the kitchen with these too high chimneys were the most challenging ones, I have to say, and these were due to different reasons. So if you move to the Manueline building, I have to say that this challenging was mainly due to the dimension of the building, irregularity in plan and in height, different levels, walls without continuity in height. So this was mainly the main reasons why it was so difficult to reach the final model of this wing of the palace. For the kitchen, the unit 10, this is mainly due to the presence, of course, of the two massive chimneys with a conic configuration. In this case, we have used different softwares. We start with SAP 2000, and the main reason was trying to have a preliminary outcome, a preliminary dynamic characterization of the building and of the chimneys, because this was rather important to perform the ambient vibration tests and to define the correct localization of the sensors in height. So basically, this was the purpose of developing a SAP 2000 model. Then it was used the Tremuri, but for Tremuri, of course, we have modeled only the effect of chimneys in our building numerical model. Okay, you have considered all the masses that we have due to the presence of these massive chimneys, and the abacus, the later, of course, the abacus, because you want to study the behavior of chimneys and to get damage part for different seismic intensities of the chimneys, and this was not possible with the Tremuri. So, and now to illustrate the type of results obtained, the main results for this Manueline building and just for the other body connect to the one, to the unit 1, I'm going to show very briefly the main results that we obtained. So for the Manueline building, as you can see, we have the building itself here, and of course, we model taking into account the constraints imposed by the other building. So this is the other building which connected the Manuel building at this part, and this is the kitchen which connects as well the Manuel building. So small parts of these buildings are modeled, the ones necessary to obtain the correct dynamic characteristics of the building and the analysis. And we have considered different types of materials described on the right side of the slide. For the global seismic assessment, take into account the in-plane behavior of the walls. We have performed nonlinear static analysis with Tremuri program. So in this slide, it is represented the damage pattern for the ultimate displacement of pushover analysis for the load applied in both directions, X and Y directions. In fact, the distribution of damage of different masonry wall is represented for the near collapse limit state. This extreme situation allows us to identify the most vulnerable structural masonry walls and the type of behavior that we are expecting in shear or bending control behavior. So looking to this, of course, you have significant shear damage and collapse in some of the piers at this intermediate level. So we decide also to just represent the most vulnerable masonry walls as are identified in this slide, just the walls who are the first ones in that building who are going to collapse. And we have also considering the out-of-plane response, the out-of-plane response of the building. The out-of-plane response was evaluated by nonlinear kinematic analysis with Tremuri program with the modulo local mechanisms. But given that due to the very good conservation of the palace in general, no cracking state has been acknowledged. There's the identification of possible out-of-plan mechanism was based on the geometry of the building and assumptions related to the quality of connections between orthogonal walls and the roof, and between the walls and the floors, the layout of openings, constructive details, and restraints given by the structure as the presence of tie rods. All these have been taken into account to define the mechanism that we have a higher probability of occurrence. So similar type of study have been done to all the other units or bodies that you have divide our palace. Just very quick what we get for the other buildings, bodies 2, 3, and 4 that were connected to that manual in building. So in this slide you have the materials that you have considered for this body. Here again, the damage part having performed the nonlinear static analysis for both directions. Once again, we have shear problems for the piers at this intermediate level. Here in this slide, it is represent only the most vulnerable walls. And again, the out-of-plane behavior has been considered as well, and we have for the same, with the same, taking into account exactly the same factors that I have already mentioned. We have defined different probably mechanism, and you have studied this out-of-plane behavior. So, and to finishing my presentation, just very final comments that I would like to give. Due to the complexity of this cultural heritage building, the seismic assessment poses a strong demand on structural engineering skills and, of course, on the available structural analysis techniques. The procedure herein followed seems capable of providing a reliable seismic assessment of such complex structures. In my point of view, it's a good compromise between computational effort, guarantee a trustworthy assessment. So, and some related to this last image, we have in this study had to the beam model the distribution of damage of different masonry walls for the near collapse limit state. These have been implemented in the 3D beam model. In this work, we did not explore the Tremuri beam model. This should be explored in the future, and of course, an easy incorporation of these results in beam model as attributes enhance the capabilities of beam, and of course it will be very helpful decision support within the heritage management framework, and certainly will be it will be very useful for any management team of this type of structures. And that's all. Thank you very much.